For a large part of my life, Jesus' death didn't really hold any significance to me. I knew that it was an important aspect of my faith, but Jesus dying for me didn't make me feel anything. When I was young, I remember hearing people's testimonies and feeling envious of the gushing appreciation and wide-eyed amazement that they had when they proclaimed, "I can't believe that Jesus died for me." It seemed as if Jesus had personally taken a bullet for them, diving heroically in front of a hitman who had been tasked with assassinating them. I understood the meaning of Jesus' death and the atonement intellectually, that it meant I was saved from God's wrath towards my sin, but I didn't have an emotional response to it. But maybe I was more like those gushing, wide-eyed Christians than I realised. Like them, I suppose that I couldn't believe that Jesus died for me, but in the sense that Jesus giving his life seemed excessive in terms of the childish sins I'd committed, such as not wanting to finish my dinner and feeding it to the dog, or not tidying my room when my parents asked me to. As I got older and started to accrue more serious sins, and the more I heard this view of the atonement, the more it did begin to mean something to me, and I did start to feel something, but it wasn't excitement, awe and gratitude. It was fear, guilt and anxiety. The fear of God because he hated the sin in my life, guilt because Jesus was made to suffer and die in my place, and the anxiety because I could still face God's wrath if I failed to be a good Christian. I know I'm not alone in feeling this way, and many people have spoken out about this view of atonement, known as penal substitutionary atonement, PSA. I carried this meaning of Jesus' death for a long time, and it was only when I was in my late 20s that I heard anyone speak against PSA. A friend who was a theology student was arguing with another friend about this view, and in an effort to get a rise out of him, he quoted the popular author and speaker Steve Chalk, who at the time had upset the religious apple cart by expressing the opinion that this view of the cross was tantamount to cosmic child abuse. This wasn't exactly how I felt about the cross, but it was in the right area. PSA didn't seem right in what I experienced of God. It made me feel distrustful of God's goodness, but also, it still didn't really make a lot of sense to me. Despite this, I continued to carry this view with me. It was an understanding that I held my whole life. It was given to me as a child and was impressed upon me as truth. It was only some time later that I understood that there were other meanings to Jesus' death.